Peace and love, fam. Hope you're having a beautiful day. If they're not, then I hope that you make it a beautiful day, all right? My name is Monte. Welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, those of you who are not, I appreciate this continued support. Let's get into what it is we want to talk about today. Let's deal with that pouch, guys, that most of us are dealing with, especially as we age. Many women believe that this is inevitable, and many of the health experts have misled women into believing this because of menopause, they say, because of the aging process and the menopausal effect on the woman's ability to store fat. Now, this has a part in the equation, but it's not the main culprit behind what is technically called diastasis recti. This means the pouch. This means the weakening of the abdominal muscles. The abdominal muscles run straight up and down, guys. And what happens is when they become weak and they start to spread apart, the pouch starts to come forth. Now, there are things that we are doing that are exacerbating this process, meaning making this worse. And these things are assumed to be healthy when it comes to exercise. When you guys go into exercises, guys, these are the things you want to avoid. You want to avoid crunches. Anything that pushes the stomach out is something to be avoided when it comes down to dealing with that issue of the pouch, that issue, that technical term called diastasis recti. You want to avoid crunches. Crunches pushes the abdominals out. It forces the abdominal wall to expand. Therefore, the muscles, if they're weak, they're going to expand, and that pouch is going to protrude even more. So while you're thinking you're doing something that is actually rectifying the issue, you are actually exacerbating the issues if you're doing crunches. Also, you want to avoid sit-ups. Again, any abdominal movement that pushes the belly out is a movement that you and I should not be doing, especially if we're dealing with the pouch and especially if the stomach muscles are weak. And for most of us, that's why we're dealing with the pouch. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's not so much the menopausal state that you are in that is causing this, or it's not so much the fact that you are just eating bad foods, which that does play a heavy role, but the major role is you're doing incorrect exercises when it comes to strengthening your abdominals. Therefore, you're making the problem worse. So you want to get away from those two specific abdominal exercises. What you want to engage in is two exercises that I'm going to share with you, which is called the bicycle. And you can see that up top, or you should be able to see it up top. And you're going to deal with what is called the plank. These two exercises go a long way in helping to strengthen the abdominals without protruding the abdominals out if done correctly. Now, if these exercises are done incorrectly, you can also exacerbate the situation. You understand what I'm saying? So you must learn how to do these things correctly in order not to exacerbate the equation and the actual thing that you're trying to correct. You understand what I'm saying? So this is something that you need to listen to. This is something that you need to understand. You also must know that many women after birth, they do develop the pouch, and it's hard to get the pouch away because birth spreads the abdominals apart, obviously. But what you can do is exactly what I said when it comes to engaging in exercises that twist the abdominals to strengthen them instead of push the abdominals outward. And those two exercises are the bicycles done correctly as well as the plank done correctly. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but with the plank and with the bicycle, you want to make sure that you engage those abdominals and keep them tight, guys. All right. This is something that you want to do. This is something that's going to be beneficial for you. Also, guys, if you're dealing with an umbilical hernia, this too will cause the pouch to be there, and it may exacerbate if the hernia gets bigger. I have an umbilical hernia. I don't want to have surgery just yet, so I'm dealing with that issue as I work my way back into shape. All right. So these are the few things that you want to recognize. And I have a whole course on this, guys. illustrating exactly what it is that you and I need to do in order to correct that. So let's get away from the myth and believing that it's about the menopause and you have no option but to develop that pouch because you in menopause. Yes, menopause plays a role, but it isn't the main culprit. You can get beyond the menopause if you do the right thing as it regards the pouch developing during that time frame in your life. As for men, we just got to strengthen the abdominals. We got to make sure that we're not over consuming foods that push the belly out, and we got to avoid those exercises that do push the belly out as well. All right. And if you have a hernia, umbilical hernia, then you want to get that fixed eventually. All right. Sending you peace and love, fam. Peace.